The Sri Lanka swallow, a graceful aviator of the island skies. Sri Lanka, an island nation renowned for its diverse flora and fauna, is home to a remarkable variety of bird species. Among these avian wonders, the Sri Lanka swallow, Cecropus hyperethra, holds a special place. This elegant bird, with its swift flight and striking appearance, is a common yet captivating sight in the skies of Sri Lanka. As an endemic species, the Sri Lanka swallow is not just a bird, but a symbol of the island's rich natural heritage. Introduction to the Sri Lanka swallow. The Sri Lanka swallow, also known as the Ceylon swallow, is a small passerine bird that belongs to the family Hirundinidae. This bird is often mistaken for the more widespread red-rumped swallow due to its similar appearance, but the Sri Lanka swallow is distinguishable by its unique features. Measuring about 13 to 14 centimeters in length, it has a deep rufous or chestnut-colored throat and upper breast, with a pale buff underbelly. The upper parts are glossy blue-black, giving it a striking contrast against the reddish underparts. This species is highly adapted to life on the wing, with long, pointed wings and a deeply forked tail that enable it to perform acrobatic flights with ease. Its flight pattern is characterized by rapid, fluid movements as it swoops and dives in pursuit of insects, its primary food source. Habitat and distribution. The Sri Lanka swallow is predominantly found in open country, including grasslands, agricultural fields, and around human settlements. It is also commonly seen near water bodies such as rivers, lakes, and paddy fields, where insects are abundant. Unlike many other birds, the Sri Lanka swallow is quite adaptable and thrives in a variety of habitats, from coastal regions to the central highlands of the island. Endemic to Sri Lanka, this bird can be observed across the island, from the lowlands to elevations of about 2,000 meters in the central hill country. Its widespread presence makes it one of the more familiar birds to both locals and visitors, often seen perched on wires or fences, chattering in groups. Feeding behavior and diet. The Sri Lanka swallow is an insectivorous bird, relying heavily on flying insects for sustenance. It feeds primarily on beetles, flies, and other small insects, which it catches in midair during its swift, agile flights. This bird is most active during the early morning and late afternoon, when insect activity is at its peak. Its feeding behavior is a remarkable display of aerial agility. The swallow hunts by flying close to the ground or over water, executing sharp turns and sudden dives to catch its prey. Its wide gape allows it to efficiently snatch insects in flight, and its keen eyesight ensures that it rarely misses its target. The Sri Lanka swallow plays a vital role in controlling insect populations, making it an important part of the island's ecosystem. Its presence is particularly beneficial in agricultural areas, where it helps reduce the number of pests that can damage crops. Breeding and nesting. The breeding season of the Sri Lanka swallow typically occurs during the months of March to September. During this time, these birds engage in elaborate courtship displays, which include synchronized flights and mutual preening. The male and female often share in the task of building the nest, which is usually constructed from mud pellets mixed with grass, feathers, and other soft materials. Nests are typically built under the eaves of buildings, bridges, or cliffs, providing shelter from the elements and predators. The nest is shaped like a cup or a half dome, with a small entrance hole. Inside, the female lays a clutch of 3 to 5 eggs, which are incubated for about 14 to 16 days. Both parents share the responsibility of incubating the eggs and feeding the chicks once they hatch. The chicks fledge after about 3 weeks, but they often remain with the parents for some time, learning to fly and hunt before becoming fully independent. The strong bond between the parent swallows and their offspring is evident in their cooperative care and the extended period of post-fledging support. Conservation status and threats. The Sri Lanka swallow is currently listed as a species of least concern by the IUCN Red List, owing to its widespread distribution and stable population. However, like many bird species, it faces certain threats that could impact its numbers in the long term. Habitat loss due to urbanization, deforestation, and changes in agricultural practices are among the primary concerns. As more natural habitats are converted into urban or agricultural land, the availability of nesting sites and feeding grounds for these birds decreases. Additionally, the use of pesticides in agriculture poses a significant threat, as it reduces the insect populations that the swallows depend on for food. Pesticides can also directly harm the birds, either through ingestion of contaminated insects or through direct exposure to toxic chemicals. Climate change is another emerging threat, with unpredictable weather patterns potentially affecting the availability of food and the timing of breeding seasons. Changes in temperature and precipitation can also impact the insects that form the bulk of the swallow's diet, leading to food shortages during critical periods of the breeding cycle. The Sri Lanka swallow in culture and ecotourism. The Sri Lanka swallow, with its graceful flight and distinctive appearance, is a beloved bird in Sri Lankan culture. It is often seen as a harbinger of good fortune, with its presence near homes and villages considered an auspicious sign. The swallow's ability to adapt to human-altered environments has also made it a familiar sight in both rural and urban areas, endearing it to people across the island. For birdwatchers and nature enthusiasts, the Sri Lanka swallow is a highlight of any birding trip to the island. Its widespread distribution and active behavior make it relatively easy to spot, providing excellent opportunities for observation and photography. The presence of these swallows is also an indicator of a healthy environment, as they thrive in areas with abundant insect life and minimal pollution. Conclusion: the Sri Lanka swallow is more than just a bird. It is a symbol of the island's vibrant natural heritage. Its elegant flight, striking colors, and important role in the ecosystem make it a species worth cherishing and protecting. As Sri Lanka continues to develop and modernize, it is crucial that we take steps to preserve the habitats that support this and other endemic species. By promoting sustainable practices, protecting natural habitats, and raising awareness about the importance of biodiversity, we can ensure that the Sri Lanka swallow continues to grace the skies of this beautiful island for generations to come. Whether you are a seasoned birdwatcher or simply someone who appreciates the beauty of nature, the Sri Lanka swallow is a reminder of the wonders that await us in the natural world.